Hi, so we're going to change the virtual machine size to B1s with PowerShell using Cloud Shell. So let's see how to do that. So we're back on the Azure portal, and we'll need to first of all check the virtual machines we have currently on the account. So we have two virtual machines, resource group RG Lab 03. Currently they have the size standard D2S v3. And we can see they have different IP addresses. The resource group we have exists, that's the resource group lab 03. So we're going to go to Azure Cloud Shell, and then we'll use PowerShell to first of all confirm the resource group and the virtual machines that they currently exist, and then we would now go and change the size of the virtual machines from standard D2S to standard B1s. So let's go and do that. So we'll click on the Cloud Shell icon and we'll raise this up. And now our PowerShell is currently running on the Cloud Shell interface. So let's put in our command, that is to get the virtual machine table. So get AZ-VM. And now we can see that we have our resource group and we have our virtual machines in the same resource group, and we can confirm that the VM size is the standard D2S. So let's go ahead and now change the size from the standard D2S to standard B1s. So to do that, first of all, we need to confirm the available sizes we have for the virtual machine. To get AZ-VM size, and then we'll get the resource group name, which is RG Lab 03, and we also need to get the VM name, VM Lab 0301. So we'll use this to get the Azure VM size. So enter, and now we are given different sizes, and we can see the size we want, which is a standard B1s. So to do that, we need to first of all get the VM which we want to change the size. Then we put that VM into a variable, and then we use the variable to change the size using the hardware property. And from there we now update the changes on the virtual machine. So let's do that now. Let's get that virtual machine. So we use the command get the Azure virtual machine, and we need to state the resource group. So resource group name, and the resource group name is RG Lab 03, and then we need to get the name of the virtual machine, VM name, and the virtual machine name is VM Lab 0301, and let's press enter, and now we can see the detail we have of the virtual machine. And let's take note of the hardware profile, which specifies the virtual machine size. So that's the property we're going to use from the variable to change the size of the virtual machine. So let's place this virtual machine in the variable. So we're going to use the same command, and we're going to place it in the variable. So we'll call the variable VM is equals to that. So once we've done that, we've created the variable. So we're going to use the variable's hardware profile. So we'll say the VM, that's the variable, dot the hardware profile, and dot the VM size is going to be equals to, and we'll put our quotes, and we'll say standard B1s, and we'll press enter. And now we've been able to specify the size we need. So then we would now go ahead to update the changes that we want to make. So we'll say update AZ-VM, and we'll specify the VM, which is going to be the variable, and we specify the resource group. So resource group name, and that is going to be our resource group rg-lab03. And once we've done that, we'll press enter and we'll allow the changes to be made. So we'll give some time. So now we can see that the update has been made, because we can see in success status code, which is true. So we'll say get AZ-VM, and now we can see that lab 0301 has been changed to standard B1s. So next we need to change that of lab 0302 from this standard D2S to standard B1s. So we're going to do the same thing, but before we do that, let's just confirm that from the portal too. So we'll scroll down and let's refresh the virtual machines, and we can see that it's been changed to standard B1s. So let's scroll back up, and we're going to do the same thing for the VM02. Enter. And next we now change the hardware profile, that's the size, from the hardware profile property, and we press enter. And then we need to now update to make the changes, and we press enter. And now we can see the status says true. So let's get the virtual machines again. So say get AZ-VM, and we can confirm that the second VM has been changed to standard B1s. So let's go scroll down and see that. So we're going to refresh, and we can now confirm that the two virtual machines have been changed to have a size of standard B1s. So we've successfully been able to change the size of the virtual machines from the PowerShell on the Azure Cloud Shell.